All right. Hi everyone. My name is Soo Kim. I will be your AP Microeconomics and Macroeconomics tutor for the upcoming semesters. So let's get started with this is AP Micro 2025 free response question from set one. It's a third question. And then you'll be having about 10 to 15 minutes to solve this problem, ideally speaking. And as you see, this is about the game theory. So you have to remember the concept, the Nash equilibrium, what is the dominant strategy, and then how to find Nash equilibrium, and then maybe the topics related to the game theory, like cooperative games, and then all the related materials. So let's get into the problems itself. So the first question is that the Beetle bracelets chooses to produce silver jewelry, and for Tony's trinklets is choosing to produce unique jewelry, the best choice. And then we are going to explain it using the numbers from the payoff matrix. Let me reproduce this payoff matrix. So I'll be denoting Tony's trinklets as T, unique and typical. Let's say another T, and there will be Beetalist bracelets. Let's denote as B. And then there will be gold and silver. And we only need to think about the situation where Beetalist bracelet chooses to produce silver jewelry, and given B's strategy, silver, T, Tony's payoff, in this case, is 20 for unique and 21 for typical. So from here, it is apparent that for Tony, choosing to produce unique jewelry is not the optimal choice. Optimal choice is to produce typical jewelry against Beetle's strategy to produce silver. So using the numbers from the payoff matrix, 21 is greater than 20, so the answer is no. And then next question, it is a Beetle's bracelet's dominant strategy to produce gold jewelry or to produce silver jewelry, or does it not have a dominant strategy? So before you actually solve this question, you have to know what the dominant strategy is. So dominant strategy means that your strategy, your chosen strategy, your candidate strategy will give you the best outcome. And this best outcome is regardless of your opponent's choice. So what does this mean? So suppose you are Beetle's bracelets, regardless of the choice of the Tony's trinklets, whether they produce unique, whether they produce typical, your strategy to produce either gold or silver should give you the best outcome. So let's actually compare the payoffs here. So for Beetle's bracelets, here we have 21, 7, 19, and 16. So the first scenario, to consider is when Tony's Trinklets chooses to produce U, unique. Then it is clear from comparing numbers for the Billy's bracelets to produce gold instead of silver because it gives you the higher payoff. Similarly, in the case of typical jewelry, for Billy's bracelets, it is best for them to produce silver, in this case, against Tony's strategy, which is to produce typical jewelries. So as you see, Beetle's bracelets, best outcome, best response in this game is subject to conditional upon Tony's choices. So we can conclude that there is no dominant strategy in this case. So simply your answer in B is no. There is no dominant strategy. So, and then you can explain in case 1, gold is better than silver. In the case 2, T, silver is better than gold. So pretty simple, isn't it? And then the next question is identify all Nash equilibria for this game. We already find what's the optimal strategy, best response for Beetle. For U, it's G. For T, it's S. We have to do the exact same symmetrically for Tony. Let's fill out this payoff matrix. And then given Billy's strategy to choose G, Tony's best response is to choose U, unique, instead of T, because 15 is greater than 10. And second scenario, given silver, Tony's best response is to produce typical instead of unique because 21 is greater than 20. And then you might have noticed in this simple pure strategy, game strategy, the questions, typically Nash equilibrium lies on the diagonal side. Well, I don't know why is this the case, but typically they lie on this side, so I think it is wise to first check on the diagonal sides when you're actually solving this problem. And then that's all the pure strategy Nash equilibrium for this game. If you are required to solve like mixed strategy, then then the problem will be much more difficult. But for the pure strategy, we have two Nash equilibria. And then you don't have to justify your answers for C because there is no written question that show your work. So the simple answer will be 15, 21, and 21, 16 would be Nash equilibria. And then the next question. Suppose Tony's profit from producing T increases regardless of what Billy's bracelet does. When you see the word regardless, you instantly think of dominant strategy. It's regardless of what B is doing. And what is the minimum amount by which Tony's Trinklets profit must increase in order for T to become a dominant strategy? Yes, we see the keyword dominant strategy. Is it $2, $4, $6, $11, or $15? So let's analyze the question. So regardless of what Billy's bracelet does, T, in this case, let's remove some of the red lines here. 21. Tony's choice of choosing T is already a best strategy given S. We have shown this when we're finding Nash equilibrium. So this is already best response for Tony. There is no incentive to deviate in this case. But given G, given gold, Tony has an incentive to deviate since U gives higher payoff by $5 compared to T. So we have to add at least $5 or more to Tony's typical jewelry in order for typical jewelry to be the dominant strategy. So again, remember, dominant strategy means best outcome regardless of opponent choice. So if you want to make this the dominant strategy, you have to make at least something more than $5. You have to give Tony something more than $5, which is in this case, because this is a discrete choice question, $6. Right? And then also here, there's no no requirement to show your work. So in the if you're in the real-time test situation and then you don't have time to write all the reasonings, you can just simply write $6, and then that is it for this question. And then last one, E. Suppose instead that these two firms now cooperate and merge into one firm to maximize their combined profit. The new firm will have two locations and continue to face the same actions and payoffs. Calculate the new firm's maximum combined profit. And then this one you have to show your work. You have to show your work in this case. So this is one type of cooperative game, and then they are merging into one firm. So that means their profit payoff simply becomes 1. So the new profit would be 15 times 21, so 36, and then 39, and there's no alpha, 17, 37. So when combined, what is the best choice among these 4 candidates? So in this case, because they are merged into one, and then players of this game is just a singleton, just one player, the combined merged firm of B and T. So it is pretty simple. There is no strategic interaction between two firms. There is only one person. Then what you're choosing is to maximize your profit. And then given these 4 choices, it is choosing US, and then payoff is 39. Right? If you want, you can write that this is 36, this is 17, this is 37, and then they're all less than 39 combined. Then we can conclude that choosing U for T, choosing S for B at the combined profit at $39 is the new firm's maximum combined profit, right? I think that will conclude the solution for this question. Thank you.